You should watch First to Third because of your commitment to excellence.
Drunken debauchery.
Athletic achievement.
PBR.
Competition.
Women.
Money.
Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. He doesn't need his name up in lights, he just wants to be heard, whether it's the beat or the mic. He feels so unlike everybody else.
We're on.
This week on First to Third, we have legendary Boston headbanger Phil Provencher, captain of the Angry Penguins and bassist for Boston progressive metal band Infinite Descent. Welcome, Phil.
Whoa, thanks. Glad to be here.
Yeah, dude.
Thanks for coming on.
I love you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I would first like to congratulate Matt on your recent wedding.
Thanks, man.
Or maybe not that recent anymore. And Oakley, congratulations on the recent engagement.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I didn't get the memo. Congrats.
What do you mean you didn't get the memo?
I don't check Facebook, people.
We figured we'd make it official.
Yeah, dude, I'm taking the plunge.
Congratulations.
Sorry,
Good for
ladies.
you.
So, do I have to counsel with you on what dates to avoid in 2012 as well? For circuit events?
Yeah, we're still working on that. So what? You know what? Talk to Amy. She's in charge.
Good answer, man. Good answer.
I love it.
So Phil, we got to ask the question we ask everybody that comes on the show. How did you get into kickball?
How did I get into kickball? Well, my girlfriend Sarah, my girlfriend of 13 years, no ring, she actually got us involved. It was like 5 years ago. Jeez. She and a friend from work decided they were going to play kickball, and they were playing on Sundays, and I had band practice, and I couldn't make it. So I said, sorry, I can't play with you guys. And so my drummer, asshole, he decided he was going to get some side work for the next 5 weekends. So I went and cheered her team on. And they kind of royally sucked. Their first game, they lost 21-1, and they were called the Space Lemurs, and they still had a lot of fun, and I ended up playing like a couple scrimmages with them, and like the first scrimmage I played, I'm like, I want to do this. Like, this is awesome. I'm hooked. I think like my third kick, I probably I think I pulled my hamstring.
Yeah,
hadn't been out of sports for a really long time, you know, except for like bicycling, you know, and headbanging, you know, if that's a sport.
That's a sport, dude. Don't let anyone ever tell you it isn't.
So, that's how I got into it, and then it just, you know, the more and more I was playing, I was just like, I'm into this, and just, you know, the more and more competitive, and, you know, it's always fun. I need to have fun, you know, even if it's at a competitive level. But, you know, the Angry Penguins, like, it's great. This is the most competitive team I've been on, and, you know, hoping to get more and more intense and angrier.
Dude,
And
the
I
Angry
would
Penguins are
like
a
to-
sweet team.
What's that?
The Angry Penguins are a sweet team, man. You guys got a lot of talent. You have a great time out there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'd like to introduce you to my I don't know. I guess he's just my assistant. This is Randy Monkey. He's spent the past 4 years hanging around my neck, and you'll notice something about him. He's very gifted, per se.
Oh, yeah. I see that.
And
Nice.
so he's kind of the man behind the scenes, you know, like I'm always in like the limelight, but this guy right here, he's the one that makes everything happen. He tells me like strategy stuff, so good guy.
Great, man. Well, you guys
He's on
have
Facebook.
a burgeoning competitive scene in Boston. Did I say that word right?
Yeah, good job. SAT word.
Could you use that in a sentence, Edra?
I know. I had to use it in a sentence there. But what are the teams to look out for in Boston? I know that it used to be the Baggers for a bit there. Then it was what was that? What was that big team? I forgot the abbreviation, what it stood for.
Chicks Like It Tickled.
Yeah, I didn't know if I could say the abbreviation on air, but what's going on in Boston?
Adrock, nobody watches this show, dude, to get offended.
What's going on up in Boston? Tell us about the scene.
Boston. So, in terms of kickball, I mean, you're looking at pretty much Waka. There's two other smaller, less competitive leagues out here. There's SBS, Social Boston Sports, and Boston Ski and Sports Club, BSSC. And they both have underhand pitching. There's different rules like that. I think one of them is no bunting. So, anybody who's more in the competitive scene, it's all about Waka. And, well, first of all, the Teabaggers are now defunct. They kind of... They weren't around, actually, by the time, I was really in the scene. But, I played with a bunch of people that were Brett LaFlamme, who was about 6'20". I'm like, hey, Brett, how's it going? So... he was one of the pitchers. Chris Mitchell, who you probably know.
Yeah, dude, we know Chris.
Yeah, I believe he was a teabagger. And so, well, anyway, let me...
We all?
I'm digressing. Everybody's going to New York. What the hell? Chicks Like It Tickled. They were always, the team since I had started. And, like I said, I'm always having fun. Social Butterfly, which is probably the only reason I'm on here, because I'm like, Phil. So,
that's a good impression you did of yourself right there.
Chicks Like It Tickle was always a solid, really good team, but I never really connected with them on a social or personal level. In fact, 2008, I was with a team called the Bootleggers, who... in fact, names. We played Dumpster Fire in our third game. Getting killed.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's where we first met, in Vegas.
We first met. We beat us 7-1. And I don't know why, because you were probably taking a nap.
The only thing that you guys cared about was that somebody beat drinkers with a kicking problem. I remember you guys you got to beat those Florida dudes. They're the worst.
Oh, they mercy ruled us in the third inning. It was like, wow, okay.
And we did beat them, and that was the last game they ever played. Just saying.
Killer of teams.
Yes.
I remember watching that game. I was going nuts.
Dude, the game was bananas.
That was my first season. I didn't even play yet. I just drank myself retarded at the Founders Cup.
Yeah, weren't you running around naked?
We're on air.
Oh,
I saw you streak the final game, right?
We're on air.
Yeah, those are the old days. I miss those days, man.
Yo, so Phil, who are the teams right now? It's you guys. Well, at least that we might see in circuit tournaments. We got you guys and the
Goodwill Bunting.
Goodwill Bunting, right?
Yeah. We're working on getting more teams to actually get more involved in the competitive scene, especially the circuit. Once I discovered the circuit, it was like, well, Waka-hoo,
Right.
I mean, obviously, we don't have a circuit league, so, Waka's still the way to go. They've heard lots of my complaining in terms of issues like refereeing and stuff like this, and... but Angry Penguins aren't an actual team yet in Waka. It's just a collection of some all-stars from a whole bunch of teams that I gathered together. Goodwill Bunting is a collection of Chicks Like It Tickled, Stewie's Sexy Party, Electric Mayhem, and
I remember those.
Great names.
And then Red Balls and Vodka.
Okay.
Which Red Balls and Vodka and Stewie's are actually quite similar lineup-wise. So, My team on Sundays, we're called the Super Freaks. Kind of funny story. We've never been anywhere on the competitive level, but ever since I started up the Angry Penguins this past year, there was, I believe, 7 of us that were actually on the Penguins. We'd really been practicing and getting the competitive thing down. And, we would finish in the bottom of the division, be like, Super Freaks, oh, they're silly. And, we're definitely silly. In fact, my superhero persona on that team is Captain Monkey Butt.
Oh, that's that picture you sent with the gross butt?
Oh, yes.
Show, dude. That's gross.
In fact, I wear a pair of shorts which has a baboon ass sewn onto it.
Yeah, it's hard to look at, bro.
You don't know how many people have been down there.
That's a heinous, dude. Hey, so Phil, a couple of us made it up to the Boston Open this year, which I thought was a blast. Definitely good to meet more of the Boston people. Are we going to see that as a circuit event in 2012?
That's the plan. Jim from Goodwill Bunting and I are really working on getting that going, so we'll hear more January 2nd.
You will.
Excellent. Well, we're going to hype it up around here and try to get a couple of New York teams up there, and that should be an exciting event.
Yep. Yeah. And we're going to have, we're going to work on getting more of a contingency from the Boston area teams, which I totally digress from. Let me throw some names of teams that hopefully we'll see.
Okay.
Electric Mayhem, Kick Hoppopotamus, Balls at Your Face.
Great names.
These names are awesome.
I'm trying to think of who else. I mean, we're really trying to get more people interested, obviously, but I mean, we'll see who actually makes it out.
Well, obviously, August, New York City, DC in July. You guys will have a bunch of opportunities in the fall, so love to see you out there.
Yeah,
you're going to see a lot of the Angry Penguins and Goodwill Bunting. Definitely.
Dude, I'll tell you, a couple of these teams that you mentioned trying to get in the circuit scene, give them the hard sell on Fort Lauderdale. That's where a lot of people start out their competitive careers, because it's pretty easy to sell going to Fort Lauderdale in February, just as a fun trip. And once people see that tournament, it's always such a great scene and so many cool people and such great parties that a lot of people get hooked on the sport at that event.
Yeah, I think a lot of us can say the same.
Yeah. Yeah, Goodwill Bunting actually had their first start over there. They were Chicks Dig Stewie's Electric Red Balls.
I remember that team.
Was awesome.
I played them.
Lock and Up played them?
Yeah, we played them. It was pretty sad. It was their last game of the day, and I think they were pretty much ready to start drinking at that point. Yeah.
So, Phil, you've been to a couple of events now. Who are your favorite teams to watch play?
To watch play?
And to play. Which are your favorite teams to play and your favorite teams to watch?
Well, watching play, I think these would be polar opposites. Watching play, the Meatballs, amazing team. Flades would have to be the closest thing I have to an idol in kickball. That guy is amazing. I need to add that Matt Kelly, the captain and pitcher, he actually travels back and forth between Fort Lauderdale and Boston throughout the year as a golf pro. And he plays with me on a couple teams. And I remember he said to me, he says, yeah, Meatball's third baseman, Flades, he's probably the best in kickball. I'm like, yeah, best in kickball. And then I saw him play, and I'm like, holy crap, he's definitely right.
He lives up to the hype.
OSC, after watching them in New York City, I was really impressed with their defensive changes. The stuff that they were pulling off was just great. They would anticipate kicks and realign their defense, and I just thought that was amazing. And that just the leadership and the experience on that team kind of blew me away.
Yeah, it takes a lot of organization and preparation to reconfigure your defense in the middle of an inning. Make sure everyone knows where they're supposed to be and can switch gears like that. So, yeah, that's impressive when they can do that.
Yeah.
So with your guys' depth with the Angry Penguins, if you don't mind me asking, what's your tournament schedule look like for 2012?
Well, I'm going to go bankrupt in the process.
Then that's what actually kind of...
As have we all.
That's something I want to address is a lot of teams who are new to this see all these events and think they have to go to all of them when that's obviously not the case. Any team just needs to go to one and they qualify for the cup. But, you guys are kind of new. What do you guys got planned?
I did a little survey with the team, and people responded 3 to 6 events this year.
Wow.
So we're looking at definitely SFKO. Might get a bunch of us. We might even end up doing like a Goodwill Bunting Penguins merger for the South Beach tournament if we don't get enough people. Mm-hmm. And then the local ones, DC, New York, even Georgia. We're gonna try to be there. I will pull together a team for those. So yeah, you're gonna see a lot of us. We're gonna probably beat everybody, because you're not expecting it.
Last year we took the train down to DC. It was awesome. I recommend it.
Yeah, the train's not bad at all.
Yeah, and we pointed it out last week. Fort Lauderdale's in February, Austin in April, but keep in mind Jacksonville, Florida, May 19th, but also in your neck of the woods, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, June 9th.
Nice.
Figured I'd drop a new one on you this week.
All right.
Like
Sweet.
Christmas or something.
Exactly.
You heard it here first.
Happy holidays.
There is no Christmas. All my money's going to circuit events.
Oh, you're right. Well, why don't you buy Pat a ticket to D.C. or something? Oh, he lives there. Or a ticket to Florida for Christmas.
That would have been a good idea, but they're already bought.
Well, if you turn into like Panic Attack and you win, 3 of the 4 that you go to, it'll be covered.
True.
So, Phil.
Yes.
You're a big metal fan, right?
You could say that.
Now, I heard you're in a band called Infinite Descent. We mentioned it at the beginning. So, what's the deal? How'd you guys get started? Where can we see you play sometime?
Oh boy, oh god, what a loaded question. This might
Give us the Reader's Digest version.
This might be the death of Infinite Descent, but the birth of the Angry Penguins.
As a metal band?
Well, no. Wow. There's a thought.
Yes,
now,
that's a combination kickball team metal band.
Infinite
You
Descent.
can use that, by the way.
We're working on. We might be putting together an album as kind of like a going away thing because we're just kind of tanking at this point. Very sad. Amazing talent in the band. Singer Olivia, my guitarist Rob and C Rob, and our drummer Kendall. Just amazing talent. The shows we put on were just great. Just killed it every time. Our last show we hadn't played with our drummer in probably about 6 months, and didn't practice before the show with him. Played the Middle East downstairs in Cambridge, if anybody knows of that. And we just killed it. It was awesome. The crowd was awesome, and we haven't played since. This was in I think October. So I don't know. I don't know if anything's going in that camp. I'm not giving it the flat line yet, but whatever. And you'll be able to check out some stuff. If you go on myspace.com/Infinite Descent, you can check out 3 of our tunes.
What's MySpace? That's like a website or something?
I don't know. It's like from the 80s.
Do you think before you guys go your separate ways, you might be able to have Infinite Descent play at a circuit event?
Ooh.
That would be awesome. I don't know how many people would be into that, but we would.
I would. It's awesome.
So Heaven Sent has 1,700 plays. Is that the song I need to listen to?
Heaven Sent that's my favorite song.
Check it out, people. 17,000 profile views for Infinite Descent on this thing called MySpace.
Yeah, my parents told me about it.
Well, Phil, we want to again thank you for coming on the show. It's great to get another face and do another interview on First to Third. We greatly appreciate your time. We're definitely looking forward to seeing you guys down in Florida and at any of the other future circuit events in 2012. Guys, any last minute thoughts, questions? Thanks.
Go to Facebook and like the Angry Penguins.
Yes.
Yes.
And while you're there, like First to Third.
Love First to Third.
Also, Randy Monkey.
Yeah.
Randy Monkey has
Friend
his
this
own
guy.
page.
He's got his own webpage on
right.
Facebook.
Does he have MySpace too?
No, he doesn't know how to use MySpace.
It's all perverts on MySpace anyway.
I have Friendster. That's the
Is
only
that
one.
like Adult Friend Finder?
Wow.
Well, Phil, thanks again for joining us on First to Third. We'll see you guys next week.
See you in Florida, man.
Thank you guys so much for
Bye.
having me.
I just want to take a moment to thank Complete Discovery Source. They're a huge supporter of the circuit and of the national tour. They are the Circuit Cup Championship sponsor. They're a full-service provider of electronic discovery services. They have compiled a team from around the world, top-notch project managers, engineers, developers, and consultants to work with you, the clients. If you're interested, by all means, check them out, cdslegal.com. They are committed to helping you through the discovery process. So again, cdslegal.com. Check them out.
Hey, support companies that support kickball.
Definitely.
There you go, buddy.
Definitely.